The man is a pool cleaner. However, he enters the room with a gun. An elderly woman just came out of the bathroom. The man directly shoots her, sending her flying several meters away. The old woman, however, rises in a strange posture. Surprisingly, her wounds quickly heal. The old woman quickly attacks the man. The man draws his gun and shoots, but she evades. It turns out the old woman is a vampire. Vampires have strong hand-to-hand combat abilities. The old woman always manages to break free from the man's grasp. She kicks the man, sending him crashing through the wall. The man pulls out a shard of glass and picks up his gun. The vampire appears behind the man. The man uses the sunlight to create distance between them. However, he is quickly attacked again. The man runs out of bullets. He throws the vampire onto a mirror. Then, he fiercely strikes the vampire's head. He threw her to the ground. However, the vampire is unharmed. She smacks the man onto the couch. The man rises and stakes the vampire. However, the vampire spits black blood at him. After falling, the man pins her to the ground. He then fires 4 shots in succession. At this moment, the vampire is still struggling. The man grits his teeth and beheads her. He then pulls out her fangs and puts them in a jar. The man's name is Abel. In fact, he is also a vampire. After dealing with the old woman, Abel returned home. His wife criticizes Abel for not having enough money to pay for their daughter's tuition. She angrily declares that she will leave with their daughter. Abel promises to earn 10,000 within a week. After saying that, he goes to the underground black market. The black market boss, James, specializes in buying vampire fangs. Abel's money was not enough, so he sought help from his comrade John. At night, vampire Queen Mary returns home. She found her daughter dead as soon as she entered the room. Mary was overcome with anguish and tears streamed down her face. One of Mary's subordinates picked up a glass stained with blood. After licking the blood off the glass, Mary identified the true culprit. Abel and John went to the Vampire Hunter Alliance for help. The alliance not only provided salaries to its members, but also offered high prices for fang collection. Abel had previously been expelled from the alliance for breaking the rules. Now, in order to pay for his daughter's tuition, he convinced John to vouch for him. After receiving approval from the leader, Abel was assigned a partner named Tom. Tom warned Abel that he would be fired if he caused trouble. While Tom was inexperienced, Abel went to kill vampires, leaving Tom waiting in the car. Abel quickly killed 3 vampires, and Tom received the leader's order and followed. The gruesome scene nearly frightened Tom to death. Tom handed over a handgun to Abel. Abel sent away 1 vampire and then turned the gun on Tom. Abel ordered Tom to kneel down and proceeded to shoot the vampire behind him. After the task was completed, Tom vomited on the floor. Little did they know, a crisis was already approaching. While James was typing on his keyboard, he sensed movement outside. Vampire Mary swiftly subdued James upon her entrance. For vampires, fangs are their core. Mary interrogated James about Abel's whereabouts. Meanwhile, Abel was preparing for his second hunt, but he encountered his comrades from the Alliance. The 4 fully armed individuals approached a villa. They swiftly killed the enemies with their hunting rifles. The second vampire also met his demise on the spot. They searched and discovered that the villa was a vampire nest. Countless vampires emerged from various directions. The 4 individuals efficiently killed them, just when Abel thought they had killed them all. Suddenly, a hand reached out and pulled him into a small cabin. Tom, witnessing the eerie movement of the vampire, was terrified and was brutally beaten. The Hunter brothers coordinated to dispatch the remaining vampires. Abel was currently engaged in a 1v2 battle. His large blade rotated and sliced the vampires' necks. Abel then threw the second vampire away. He intended to help Tom, but encountered a more skilled opponent. Abel was quickly thrown upstairs. Tom has been getting beaten up by vampires. The Hunter brothers heard his pleas for help. They gathered while killing people, and they simply crushed these vampires. At this point Tom was still struggling. Suddenly, an iron axe flew and struck the female vampire. The hunter directly kicked her to death. At that moment, Abel jumped down from the 2nd floor. He consecutively shot and killed 2 vampires. These fangs would be enough for Abel to sell and make money. Abel took his daughter to attend a classmates' gathering. During that time, Abel received a phone call from Vampire Mary. She openly stated that she would not spare his wife and daughter. Abel prepared to leave with his daughter. After the vampires arrived, Abel settled his daughter. Then he got in the car and started speeding. Under pursuit, he rushed out of the parking lot. After drifting, he turned onto the road. 2 racing cars sandwiched Abel in the middle. In the collision of the 3 parties, 1 car exploded into scrap metal. Abel continued to speed, but Abel was forced to turn by a motorcycle. A motorcycle tried to take a shortcut from the gym. After coming out, he was directly hit and killed. Abel drove into the drainage ditch. A motorcycle flew and crashed into the top of the wall. Only 1 off-road vehicle remained. Abel got out of the car and immediately burst the tires. He stepped on the accelerator and rushed forward. Abel escaped the pursuit. Abel returned home and picked up her daughter. He is planning to pick up his wife and run away, but his daughter was captured. He He was restrained on the ground. Mary intended to turn Abel's daughter into a vampire. She wanted the girl to bite her own mother to death. Abel was left for Tom, who had already been bitten, to feed on. Soon, Abel regained consciousness. Tom had also completed the transformation. He saw his fangs in the mirror. His body disappeared in the mirror. Tom still had consciousness, but hunger drove him to crave blood. Abel swung a knife at him, but he didn't expect decapitated Tom to still be alive. So they drove off to rescue someone. Abel first found Ella, their neighbor in the rental house. Abel happened to see Ella with an African-American man at home. That man was the vampire he had slain earlier. Abel confirmed that Ella knew Mary's lair's location. Both sides fought while Ella explained that she was being threatened by Mary. Abel then learned that the elderly woman was actually Mary's daughter. It was because the old man was transformed by Mary when he was old, so she appears to be an old lady. Mary wants to rule all the vampires in Los Angeles. Ella follows Abel to slay her. Ella leads the two of them to Mary's human factory. Ella immediately launches a surprise attack. She swiftly decapitates a group of vampires with a single swing. By this time, Tom has also become skilled. He performs jumps, flips, and cooperates with Ella, but there are a large number of vampires. The three of them are suppressed behind a stone platform. Just when they can't get up, a pickup truck crashes in. John wields a Gatling gun and opens fire. Soon, the entire area is cleared. Then Tom and the others hold the rear. Abel and the others continue deeper into the basement. Abel whistles, and John's bullets clear the area once again. The two of them put on specialized equipment and enter the palace's tunnel. This time, their enemies are all vampires. They become more courageous as they fight. They reach the entrance and are suddenly ambushed. John gets bitten but manages to fend off 3 vampires. He worries about mutating and pushes Abel out, closing the iron door behind him. Abel has to save the others on his own. John left behind to deal with the aftermath. He reveals a bomb and delivers the final blow. Abel is thrown against the wall by one of Mary's henchmen. Tom and Ella descend from above. Abel goes to find Mary. Tom and Ella attack the henchmen together. Mary sees Abel and immediately throws his wife aside. Mary throws Abel to the ground. Finally, she grabs Abel and tries to bite him. At this moment, Abel's wife stabs her with a stick, but Mary backhands the woman, sending her flying. Mary then kicks Abel away. Tom and Ella fiercely fight the henchmen. The henchman's combat prowess surpasses both of them. He quickly subdues, but that gives them an opportunity for a counterattack. They seize the opportunity and fiercely yank. The henchman's arms snap off and become Tom's meal. At this moment, Mary prepares to transform the mother and daughter. Abel grits his teeth and gets up, firing a shot. Unexpectedly, Mary intercepts the bullet with her mouth. Abel is left with an empty gun. Mary takes a quick step forward. Abel shows no fear. It turns out Abel immobilized Mary with a silver wire. The crisis is resolved. Tom leaves with Ella. Abel drives home with his family. But suddenly, the manhole cover is lifted. John actually climbs out. The movie ends here. The movie is called Day Shift Hunter. The movie contains many fight scenes. There are a lot of wrestling and dismemberment techniques, and the actors perform fancy maneuvers. The plot is simple and straightforward. The scenes are lively and satisfying. These elements combined together are quite cool. The worldview is huge. The final conflict is a little more intense. Alright, that's it for today's video. See you in the next episode.